slaves. You may also buy some from the temporary residents living among you and members of your clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life. But you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly.
Okay, so pre-Christ in the Old Testament, God had different ways of judging mankind. Okay, so primarily in the Torah, what you have, the first 5 books of the Bible, in the Torah, you have sinners, so to speak, being punished through slavery. Okay, so I'm not sure how familiar you are with the first 5 books, but they're referenced as the Torah, and that's how God.
Do you believe slavery is justified? Yes or no?
So my views and God's views should be very different. Okay, so for me, no, slavery, it would not be right for me to enslave or anybody.
So you're contradicting your own God.
So that would be very wrong.
You know, exactly,
well,
right? Based, honestly. Yeah, do not take God's view. That's a bad view.
No, so
you're contradicting,
if you allow
me to
finish.
There's a couple issues with this. So, A, you'd be in contradiction of your own God, which would just make you a cherry picker. And also, not to mention that Leviticus says that like a lot is wrong, such as like, or like if you do not wear like blue tassels off of all 4 corners of your garments, like you're going to be an abomination. If you have like mildew in your house, if you plant mixed seeds or wear mixed fabrics, if you know if you eat like pig fat, blood, or shellfish, like these are all like abominations, right? But not to mention that it quite literally states in Leviticus that Levitican law was specifically for the ancient Israelites. So like you would have a strong argument why it would be wrong to be gay as an Israelite living over 3,000 years ago, but are we Israelites living 3,000 years ago?
So no, we're not Israelites living 3,000 years ago, but also you would have a strong argument that was brought about by God for the Canaanites.
No, it was brought about. It was brought about for the Israelites because of the Canaanites. The Canaanites and the Egyptians practiced ritualistic, like gay orgies to pray to their God, right? And that's why God said it was wrong. But like once again, it says directly in Leviticus 18:1-5 that all of those, like all of Levitican law, including 18:24, which is the one that says being gay is an abomination, was specifically only for the ancient Israelites. So when you use that as an argument, as to far why it's wrong to be gay, you're A, contradicting your own God because he says you shouldn't follow them, and B, you'd be just as much of an abomination as a gay man under your worldview, because I'm going to make a very intelligent guess by assuming that you're not wearing blue tassels off of all 4 corners of your garments.
So let's touch on the contradiction real quick. It would that I believe that's a perception issue on your end.
Read it.
And here's why.
Read the Bible.
If you'll let me finish. Is that okay? Can I finish? Are you good with that, Dean?
Go for it.
Okay. So with your perception is my views and my opinions should be very different from God. I'm just a normal everyday human like you and Parker. Okay. Even though we may have different views, I believe that we were created equally. So my opinions and my actions should be very different from God because I have no deity about me. I'm not holy. I'm not all-knowing or omni in any way.
Right, so but what I'm trying to get you to realize is that you're unjustified in your viewpoint. When you say it's wrong to be gay because Sky Daddy says so, well, Sky Daddy didn't say so. Like you are like no, you can't just like brush off your contradiction.
Nothing
is patronizing about what I just said. Nothing is patronizing about what I just said. Ethan, listen. You are justifying your argument as to why it is wrong to be gay because it says so in a verse. But you are you are consciously like cherry picking that verse out of the Bible. No, don't interrupt me. Sir, you are unironically cherry picking that verse out of the Bible.
On the internet.
Ethan, I'm not bullying you. I'm educating you. So sit back and listen.
No, you're not educating.
No, Ethan, I'm not bullying you.
You won't let me speak as well.
How are you going to say that I'm not letting you speak as you actively overtalk me?
Because you cut me off, sir. You cut me off before I finished speaking.
Ethan, well, how is your justification for why you are just in assuming that being gay is wrong because it says so in the Bible? The simple fact that like you disagree with God. No, you can't just like disagree with God on some of the things that he said that would make your worldview and your view on homosexuality fall to crumbs. You can't just simply say that, oh, I don't agree with God when he says Levitican law was only for one specific group of people. I don't agree with God when he says it's also wrong to not wear blue tassels off all four corners of my garments. I don't agree with God when he says that slavery is okay. But I do agree with this one fucking specific verse, Leviticus 18:22, when it
And
condemns
that's not what I
homosexuality.
said, Dean. You've mischaracterized my statement. And what I said was, for me, it is wrong. God operates outside of our time, space, and matter, so he's not encumbered by our time, space, and matter, nor is he encumbered by our moral law. Do you understand?
Why is it wrong?
Why is being gay wrong? Because it's sexually immoral. And you cherry picked the verse in Leviticus. There's, I believe, 7 or 8.
Name them all.
Think of them right now. I mean, I'm in a truck headed to Nashville for a weekend getaway.
Can I name them all for you?
Well, sure. Go ahead.
Right, so we got Leviticus, we got Genesis, we got Romans, we got Corinthians, and then we got Timothy, as well as some like I don't know, interpretations of Mark. All right, so Leviticus, that's out of context. Genesis, God destroyed the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah because of like rape and assault on angels. Romans is a misinterpretation of Greek-Roman society. Then Corinthians and Timothy are mistranslations. So, but like even if we were to assume that it did say somewhere in the Bible that it's wrong to be gay, well then how do we know that like the words that are in the Bible are true? Like what is the justification for assuming that the words in the Bible are fact?
Well, I believe you left one out. I believe it's Mark 10, where he says that a man shall leave his parents and become one with a woman, with his wife. And that speaks indirectly to the same thing.
Right, but it doesn't say like only with his wife, right? So like when God speaks about marriage in the Bible, he does say between a man and a woman, but he doesn't say like only between a man and a woman. So it's like you're kind of like bridging the gap there by interpreting that. No, listen, no. So here's the thing though. So you are bridging like this cognitive like dissonant like gap between God saying marriage is between a man and a woman and marriage is only between a man and a woman, right? So obviously this is going to be in Mark as saying only between a man and a woman because that's the only type of marriage that was legal when Mark was written and inside a Greek-Roman society, and we could just refer to like Roman lexicon for that, right? So obviously it's going to state that. So like you are willing to like ignore like parts of like Leviticus that say like slavery is okay. You're willing to ignore parts of like Leviticus that say that the Levitican law is only specific to the Israelites. You're willing to ignore wherein like Levitican law it says that you have to wear blue tassels off all four corners of your garments. But then when it comes to Mark, you actually add to Mark. So you subtract off of what doesn't help you, and then you add to what does help you. And all that is just like this confirmation bias that is more so going to be telling of your ingrained homophobia.
So first off, I'm not homophobic. I actually have a very close family member of mine that is homosexual, and I love her just the same.
Yeah, don't tokenize them, please. No, if you're gonna like come up here and say it's wrong to be gay and then tokenize like a gay family member, like that's crude, man. Like and I know this to be the case because once again you subtract from scripture when it doesn't help you. Like when Leviticus says slavery is okay, or when Leviticus says that those rules were only for one specific group of people, you ignore that. But then when we come to Mark, you actually bridge this gap and say that Mark said that marriage is only between a man and a woman when that's not actually what the text says. You ignore the text when it doesn't fucking help you, and then you add to the text when it does. Erica, thank you for the galaxy. And this all doesn't. Thank you for the cap. And this all still doesn't explain how the fact we know that the words are in the Bible. No, that's exactly what you're doing. Explain to me how that isn't what you're doing.
So I haven't ignored anything that you've mentioned in Leviticus. I recognize that it says all of those things. Okay. Now that's just because you say I ignore it doesn't mean that I ignore it. And I could say your hair is purple, but that doesn't make it true.
You ignored it because you said slavery's okay.
No,
you ignored it because you tried to use Leviticus to like justify why being gay is wrong. You ignored it because you don't think that you're an abomination because you're not wearing blue tassels off all four garments, and then you added to scripture because you said that marriage is only between a man and a woman when that's not what Mark says.
So I said that slavery was wrong for me. It's not wrong for God. If he chooses to enslave anyone, that is his right to do so. He has.
What is your view based on,
Just
Ethan?
do what now?
What is your view based on?
So my view of that, of his right to enslave whoever he wants to enslave, or if he wants to wipe out the population.
No. What are your morals based on?
The moral standard of the commandments.
The Bible,
now,
right? God.
Yes,
so how
sir,
could you
yes.
say that your preference is different from God's? If your literal
not,
preference is determined by God.
Because I'm not God. So because I'm not God, therefore I cannot. His ways are higher than my ways, and his thoughts are higher than my thoughts.
Yeah, but you would say that you believe whatever he states is true, right?
Right, but so the discrepancy we're having here is what my actions are and what his actions are. So his actions can be justified to where my actions cannot be justified. So if I were to flood a room and kill a bunch of people, that would not be justified. For one, I'm not God and I have no deity.
So rules for thee but not for me is what I'm hearing?
If you want to phrase it like that, I mean, that's catchy.
That's exactly what it is, though, right?
So I believe it would be vice versa. Rules for me, but not for thee. And I believe that. I believe that.
Well, we were talking about in perspective of God, because God's the one establishing the rules. So if God is the one establishing the rules, he's saying, oh, these things are going to apply to y'all, but it's not going to apply to me. In the same way that a king or a queen might have been, oh, I'm creating these laws for the people, but I'm going to violate them.
Okay, so for instance, I dip Copenhagen snuff, but I've also set laws in my household that my son is not to follow in my footsteps and dip Copenhagen snuff.
Well, you're actually saying that it would be permissible for an adult to do so, but you're not saying it's permissible for a minor. So actually, in that sense, you're not necessarily violating a rule in which is there, but like...
Well, I'm also saying that he should never do it. Even when he is of age, he should never do it.
Even when he's of age, he should never do it. Okay, well then you're just being hypocritical. Yeah. The same way that God is being hypocritical.
See, but the difference there is he is all powerful and all knowing and has omni.
And you think an all knowing, all powerful God is going to be hypocritical?
Well, it's hypocritical for your perception. The difference between me and you is...
No, it's hypocritical by observation.
Parker, if you'd let me finish, please, I'd appreciate it.
Oh my God. Like, I was just clarifying a point we already established that you didn't understand.
Dude, you're just trying to find a way to justify your cherry picking. You're unironically just trying to find a way to justify your cherry picking. Here's the thing. God has two statements. God has two statements. One says slavery's okay, and one says being gay's wrong in the context of the Israelites. When he says slavery's okay, you don't believe him. Slavery's not okay. But when he says that being gay is wrong in a specific context, you ignore the context and then use that as justification for why it's wrong to be gay.
But it's not okay for me.
When he says that it's okay for you to enslave in the Bible, do you believe him?
Oh, yes, most
definitely. So then therefore it's okay for you to enslave because that's what it says in Leviticus.
Right, well, I'm not living in the time of Leviticus. If I had been living in the time of Leviticus, then yes.
So at one point it was permissible for you to enslave people?
Absolutely. If I lived in the time of Leviticus where he permitted it.
So you think that slavery is okay, but you don't think that consentful relationships between two adults is okay?
So once again, we're comparing modern day...
Yeah, Dean, you're assuming he cares about consent.
Yeah, for real.
So assuming about consent. So in modern day, of course, consent is necessary for anything.
Well, modern day.
Why not in the context of slavery?
Modern day.
Well, in the context of slavery, it's still the same.
Yeah, you didn't accept their consent then because it's fucking slavery.
So in Leviticus times, for whatever they were being judged for or punished for, that was how God dealt with them. And who am I to question the way that God passes judgment?
It doesn't say specific to Levitican time.
That's also what every authoritarian leader in history relies upon. You not questioning their authority. You're not questioning the bad things they do. Right? And what does that leave you?
Well, let's look at our death penalty then in the United States.
I'm against the death penalty.
Okay, well, it's still there.
I'm against it.
He doesn't think it's wrong, right?
What is your view? I would love to hear your view.
That we shouldn't be unaliving people in that particular way because 4% of people on unalive row are literally innocent. Okay, so if we can't ensure and that there's gonna be people that are innocent here, clearly we shouldn't do that, right? It doesn't seem to make sense.
Not to mention that it's like less expensive to put them in solitary confinement for the rest of their life, and it's worse of a punishment. There's like plenty of reasons to think that the death penalty isn't justified. But right, so like again, like it's so funny to me because you've been trying to talk your way out of why some of what God says isn't like true or doesn't apply today, such as the fact that he said that slavery's okay, but he doesn't preface it with a certain time period or how slavery was okay according to you.
Well,
but
Jesus
then again,
Christ
when we come to
does.
two consenting adults, you think that it isn't justified, man. It's like, and then no verse in the Bible condemns homosexuality, dude. Like you were willing to add so much like interpretation and context to the Bible when it like confirms your predisposed beliefs. But as soon as we get to like me offering justification on why it does not say it's wrong to be Bible in the sense of interpretation and context, you throw it out the fucking window.
Well, I must have missed that part, Dean. Will you tell me one more time so maybe I can understand it?
Yeah, name one verse in the Bible that condemns homosexuality.
Well, no, you were offering up justification for homosexuality.
Right. Yeah, right.
Is what you just stated.
I'm going to offer you justification as to far why the Bible does not say it's wrong to be gay. Thank you for the cat and little.
Justification would come from your perception, sir.
Yeah, so the justification is that not one verse in the Bible condemns homosexuality.
But does it condemn sexual immorality as a whole?
So now are you just like are you assuming that sexual immorality automatically preludes to like homosexual intercourse as being included in that?
I would say that homosexual intercourse would be a substrata of
What's your
sexual
justification
immorality.
for this?
We've already chased that rabbit.
No, you haven't.
The justification for that is when Mark says that a man shall leave his woman and become one with his wife in marriage.
And how do you know that that text is true? How do you know that we can verify that as being true?
Well, so
actually, in Mark, it also doesn't even give any exceptions for divorce. So,
well, if I remember correctly, the Bible gives 3 outs for divorce: abuse,
is that
adultery.
in Mark? Is that in Mark?
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't know, and I couldn't even tell you. But I believe it's. Go ahead.
No, it's not in Mark. Mark. There's not exceptions.
Again, can you answer the question?
Matthew.
Can you answer the question like how do we know that like the text within the Bible is accurate?
So a couple reasons why I believe it's accurate. We had a retired FBI agent. I can't think of his name. I would love to send you the source when I find it. So source to be determined. But so what he did was he took all 4 Gospels, and what his special is he specializes in the proof of whether the writing is similar or whether it was written by the same author, or pretty much just the similarities or the discrepancies between text, right? So what he did was he took the 4 Gospels and he compared all 4 of them because they are supposed to be eyewitness accounts of Christ's life and his ministry and his death and crucifixion and his resurrection. So what he found in this is that there's no way that all 4 Gospels could be written by the same person, but they were all 4 accurate accounts because of the similarities that you would not be able to.
I didn't ask you just to tell me that some other person said this without their name or without a source. I asked you to tell me how.
Well, I touched on the source before I spoke. That way, you would have that information.
No, you didn't. You didn't at all.
Well, if you would ask Parker, did you not hear me say that I would send the source when I found it?
I didn't hear that. No, I might have not picked up on that though.
Okay, so
here's what I'm saying, Ethan. So then also, if we were to assume that they were to be congruent to one another, which they aren't, because we see discrepancies between the genealogy of Adam laid out in Genesis and the genealogy of Adam laid out in Mark. You know what I mean? Like, there's obvious like
we're talking about the
contradictions,
gospel,
or like
so
other like
let's
contradictions
pick
even
it.
within the Gospels that like would,
He did say
that
it
there's
apparently, by the way.
Okay, and there's also like other contradictions in the Bible, such as like the firmament existing. Obviously, the firmament does not exist, or like the earth being rooted within the ground, with the ground being space. Obviously, the earth is not rooted within space, right? So therefore, there's obvious contradictions that have been disproven by modern science. So we could reject this notion that they're congruent to one another. Then, irregardless of this, like this doesn't like necessarily like justify like the text as being true, because like thank you for the hand arts, because text can be consistent and still be not true, right? So like we could just like go to like other biblical texts such as like the Bible of Shmizas. Like it's completely consistent, yet I wouldn't necessarily assume it to have like a correlated truth factor because of the consistency. So, do you have anything else to offer, Ethan?
Other than the Bible has historically been correct, to add to evidence. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be able to prove any. Well, let me finish now. I'm not going to be able to prove anything to you, nor would you be able to prove anything to me. All I can do is offer evidence to make a valid argument. But
right.
I feel that you don't have an open mind. I mean, let me ask you just one question. If that's
Don't gaslight me. Like, this is a debate, right?
Wait, before this, Ethan, if you're just saying a valid argument, that would just be one in which is logically consistent, not one in which is necessarily sound or considerably true. Right, so all you're telling me is that you're just going to come up with some like logical explanation, but I mean, I would even question whether or not your explanation is logical. Right, I don't know if we've already gone through the problem of evil or the perfection-based arguments, but there are contradictions entailed by the particular worldview that you believe in.
Well, let's touch on evil real quick. So you maintain that if God created all, God created evil. Is that correct?
Well, yes. If God created everything, God did create evil. That would be what you'd consider.
Now, can I ask you to define evil for me?
This would be something against God's preference.
Well, does it have time, space, or matter?
What?
Does evil contain time, space, or matter? Because
evil is a concept that we apply to things that happen within time, space, and matter, generally speaking.
Well, evil is an action. So you cannot have a jar of evil sitting on a desk. It's not a creation. So evil is an action. Just the same as if you have a shirt that has a hole in it. Does the hole exist?
So if God like burns an innocent baby alive, right? Is that bad?
See, these are trap questions that you have, because I don't believe that God would burn an innocent baby at all. I don't believe that he would harm an innocent at all. So
would it be bad?
If we're going to play the what if game, then I will answer your question, but I would like for you to answer a what if for me.
Would you like to answer mine first?
Sure, yes, it would be bad if God were to burn an innocent baby.
Okay, so there are conditions in which we could say that God can cause things that are evil.
So, may I ask my question now?
Mm-hmm.
If God were real, let's assume for a moment that we could prove that. If God were real, would you bow down and worship him? Would you live your life for him if he was real?
I don't think it's possible.
Well,
there's no if a contradiction. What if there was a squared circle?
So I answered yours. I would like for you to answer mine.
No, it's like
I can't answer that question unironically because it's not logically possible.
Yeah, right. So when we're talking about like modal logic, right? Like the implication of the word "if" would imply like metaphysical possibility, right?
Okay, so then back
so like you're just automatically presupposing that it is like metaphysically possible for God to exist, and like Parker is just simply like rejecting that notion.
Okay, well then Parker's question to me would be of equal value. Because
there's cases in the Bible
would not burn an innocent baby.
Wait, no, there's quite literally cases in the Bible of God like unaliving innocent babies, right?
Do you think any babies go to hell?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't have enough evidence to form an opinion. Once again, his ways are higher than my ways, and his thoughts are higher than my thoughts.
So you have no clue?
I don't. Okay. I have no idea. I don't have enough evidence or enough information to form an educated opinion.
Do you think it's possible for babies to go to hell?
If we're going to play the what if game again, I would like for you to answer my question. If God was real, would you worship him?
I don't think you understood. I gave you an explanation on how that question cannot be answered.
In order for us to say if this particular event, the event that you reference has to be logically possible for it to even make sense.
Okay, well then,
but it's not logically possible. I actually legitimately can't answer the question because it is not going to be true in any possible world, right? Are you saying I don't even know what you're trying to get me to answer that? I'm dead serious.
Well, obviously, if you had evidence that God was real and you knew for a fact he was real,
homie, do you not he keeps on telling you that he can't answer it because it's not logically
I know
possible.
That's why I'm
in the same way.
It's hard to say, like, even like if I were to consider it to be logically possible, right? Because then we're just saying, okay, if it was possible, but it doesn't make sense given the fact that it's contradictory.
Right.
This doesn't make sense regardless, right?
In the same way that like he can ask you if like
the same
if
way
a square
about burning
circle
an
existed.
innocent baby.
No. So like,
I don't believe that's possible.
In the same sense that like he asked you if like a square circle could exist, you know, then like to make some claim or judgment based upon that. You can't answer the question because it can't exist. And
actually, Ethan, he just like actually described my point. It's not possible. Why? Because that would be evil for God to do. So there are actions that are considered evil and things that are considered good. And the point that we're getting is that the actions that are considered evil, right, could have been caused by God, as God could have created a world in which these conditions did not exist and still retained ideas like free will. So free will itself doesn't entail the idea that there's going to be sin or the idea that there's going to be evil, because there's one possible world from the infinite set of possible worlds in which every single one of us, we chose to do the right thing in every single scenario. We never sinned. And we did so freely, right? Because that was one of the possible expressions of our free will, as we have free will and we could have engaged in any particular action.
I disagree that that's possible, because then you would be loving him out of obligation, not out of choice.
No, so this is not obligation, this is choice. I'm saying it's one of the expressions of free will. Thank you for the hand heart. So if it's one of the expressions of free will, it's not determined by God, it's determined by the individual that has free will.
Do you have anything else, Ethan?
No, but you refused to answer my questions when I answered yours.
Did I answer the question?
No, sir. You have still to answer the question about if God were real.
Bro, are you just ignoring what we keep on saying? Yeah, no.
Well, you refused to answer my questions, but I answered your
Did I answer the question there, Ethan? N-O.
No.
No.
No what?
That's the answer to the question, buddy. Thank you for the hand hearts.
Okay, so that tells me that you have a heart issue, a heart problem.
A heart?
Are you a doctor or something?
Even though we could prove that God was...
Nope. I think he hit bad
So
service.
you would be choosing to separate...
Nope.
He's cutting out. Unironically having random Wi-Fi issues. I think God doesn't want this to happen.
Shit, I think he just got raptured by God.
Did you get him?
I think he just got raptured by God.
Unironically raptured by God.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it the TikTok gods or was it the Dean gods?
It was the Dean God. Thank you for that, a mustache.
It was Shmeezus. You got to say that from now on.
Yeah, it was Shmeezus. Thank you for the marvelous. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our next guest here, chat. If we're enjoying the debates, make sure we're tapping away in that phone screen, guys. We are so close to 700K likes. Everyone, tap away on that phone screen. Thank you, Stewie, for the hat of mustache. And Angelica, thank you so much for the $10 Venmo. I really appreciate your message. You're gonna be buying me dinner tonight. I appreciate that. Also, make sure to share the live with a couple friends.
Courtney, I appreciate the Venmo as well. Thank you so much. Tap the screen, everyone. 1 million likes. I appreciate the hat mustache. Yes, do take a shot every single time you hear us say unironically. Unironically. I appreciate the sunglasses. Thank you so much. Unironically. Thank you for the sunglasses. I appreciate it. Unironically. Wow, that person's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah,
Damn.
unironically, they're gonna be fucked up, man.
Oh shit.
Shit. Fuck. What's up, man? How old are you?
Mitten, bro.
Man, I don't think they're here. I'm gonna go and move on to the next guest here.
Dude, that's so unbelievable.
Oh, all right. Next guest is loading up in here, chat. We just gotta give it a minute. Sometimes it's hard to get a guest on the line. It really is.
Craziest crossover in debate history. Yes, absolutely. Tap that screen, everyone. Share the live. We're almost to 1,000 shares, everyone.
Yeah, everyone, make sure we're sharing, guys. And
Yo, what's up? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be? Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
No. But do you guys believe in objective morality?
No.
No. Holy shit, Nani! Thank you so much for the galaxy. I really appreciate it.
W Nani with the galaxy.
W Nani with the galaxy. Yo, honestly, I don't know. Nani's like crazy. Nani's crazy at singing. Have you ever seen any of her lives?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she goes lives and
yeah.
She, like,
W Nani in the chat, everyone.
W
Actually, Nani's a W singer. Actually, though.
Yeah.
Denise, I appreciate the Venmo. Thank you so much. Unironically, I appreciate the confetti. Thank you so much.
Just plays off of each other. Shit. Unironically, yeah. Thank you for this cat.
Unironically, oh my gosh. Unironically, these people just need to like unironically take some more shots.
Guys, we're having some issues getting guests in here. We just got to give it a minute. Sometimes it's a bit hard to get them on the line.
Appreciate the sunglasses. TikTok needs to fix this, honestly. I don't know why this happens so much.
Yeah, for real.
They need to give us a rating on how good their connection is. We can see. Appreciate the paper crane. Thank you for the sunglasses as well. Like where it gives us like 3 bars, 2 bars, or 1 bar for each guest, so we know which ones would be better to connect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great idea. I'm still cycling through these guests, and we have like found not one to connect here. Guys, if you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay, Nani, thank you so much for the galaxy. Thank you so much. We're almost at the little live goal. What's up, Zach? How old are you?
Old enough.
What's your birth year?
2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
I think it's wrong because you can't put your dick in an asshole.
Well, you quite literally can, right? We observe it.
No, you can't.
If you can't, you must be packing, my guy.
No.
Are you just saying that like homosexual intercourse is like a conspiracy theory then?
Nah, you just can't do it, man. It's like it's not meant.
Have you tried?
No, but like,
no,
are you saying from? Are you?
No, I'm not gay. What the?
No, so then how do you know it can't fit?
You know what comes out of it? Shit comes out of it. But are you dumb?
Not if you clean.
Clean, bro. Don't you have to poop like?
You know when someone has a period, blood comes out of there. Oh! Whoa! No!
Guess what though? It was meant to go in there anyway, bro. Like, what the fuck? Shit.
Why? Thank you for the culture, and I appreciate it. Why?
Cause, bro, like you can't put your dick in an asshole, bro. Like that's wrong, bro. What the?
Why is it wrong?
Why is it wrong? Yeah, please let us know.
Why is it wrong? Quit yapping.
Cause it's not meant to be there, bro.
How do you know it's not meant to be there, bro?
Cause when it comes to like women, like you could produce babies, bro. Like when it comes to guys, like it doesn't work like that, bro.
So it's immoral because it doesn't yield reproduction.
Yeah, and it's wrong, cause like what the heck?
Is it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
Well, you telling me you wake up and you just feel like
can I graph him
in an asshole, bro?
Yeah. So Zach, question: is it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
Fuck you, bitch.
Love you too, bro.
Fuck.
He didn't even want to get graphed.
Oh,
he didn't even want to get graphed.
Yo, the chat knew it was coming, bro.
We need to make a more sophisticated graph, Dean.
I know, bro. This graph is fucked, man. This graph is really fucked. I mean, look at this.
Dean's so hyped to show the envelope that literally he can't even read.
Yo, WTS.
Yo, thank you, TS, for the meteor shower. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the confetti as well. Thank you. Yo, what's up? Do you think that being gay is wrong or immoral?
No.
Wow,
Yo,
that is an infant.
That is an infant. Yo, TSW fucking meteor shower.
That is an infant.
W fucking meteor shower.
Yo, Nani with the galaxy. I appreciate it, Nani. W's in the chat, everyone. Let's fucking go.
Thank you.
Oh, Johnny Lee doesn't disagree.
Nope. All right.
No. I don't.
Oh no, damn, Johnny Lee's so nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny Lee. That's my fault.
I love you, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? How old are you?
What up, yo? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Appreciate the corgi. Thank you so much.
Sure can. Do you
Do you
think
think
being
it's
gay
wrong
is
or immoral to be gay?
I think it is immoral, but I don't think it's wrong.
What's the distinction?
Well, I don't think it's natural
Define
to
natural.
No.
be
What's
with
the
a
distinction between wrong and immoral?
immoral. Moral comes with like, it depends on your religion. And people say God didn't create Adam and Steve. He created Adam
Are
and
you
Eve,
religious?
and I'm not, but a lot of people
No.
are.
So why do you consider it to be wrong?
I consider it to be wrong because of my beliefs. But
What beliefs?
I believe that man and woman are meant to be together
Why?
because it's natural and you can
What's natural?
conceive. I think it's natural that sex is for procreating.
Right. So, is it moral for me to marry and engage in intercourse with an infertile woman?
Um, yes.
That is immoral. Why?
Yes, I say throw her in the trash if she doesn't work.
What?
If she doesn't work, throw her in the trash.
What do you mean by that?
If she can't conceive, that means she's broken.
What do you mean by throw her in the trash?
That means get rid of her. She doesn't work. She's worthless.
You think a woman that can't reproduce is worthless? So you like legitimately see a woman as an incubator? Like unironically?
Yes. That is a big part of a female, correct?
No, you said it's the only part. You said without that she's worthless. You unironically only see her as an incubator. Like that is next level objectification.
That is a big part of the female gender.
You are just first of all.
You
female
literally
is a gender.
said valueless, worthless without this. Okay? So
Yeah,
you
throw in the
are
trash.
saying that all of the worth of an individual is ingrained in their ability to reproduce.
Yeah, you honestly just sound like a really crazy misogynist. Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? So, if you're gonna deem like all of the worth, thank you for the 10 cents, Michelangelo. Anyway,
Well, I like to
really means-
massage.
So
I like to massage
okay.
a
So
lot.
now, if you like deem like 100% of a woman's worth based off of her reproductive capabilities, and if she cannot reproduce, she's absolutely worthless, and you should throw her away. Then I'm going to look at you, call you a crazy man with a fragile ego that is probably insecure in the fact that I don't know. You probably have some struggles in your personal life. But does that make sense to you?
Thank you for the money, and I appreciate it. When your mom doesn't have the ability to reproduce, is she still worthless?
Yeah, she's done.
Dude.
You think your mom is worthless? I appreciate the hand art.
If she can't reproduce.
Stewie, thank you for the money gun.
This
Stewie,
is
you've
not
been going
fucking
crazy
real.
tonight.
This is actually
Thank you
not
for the
real.
fireworks, Jesse.
You do not believe that, dude.
Jesse, thank you.
You actually do not believe that. There's no way you believe that.
Yo, you gotta die on the
So-
craziest hills, man. That's
Oh,
fucking-
would you
guys
say that
are
about your
saying-
wife as well?
My wife, no.
Wait, so you would say that she isn't worthless without the ability to reproduce?
Thank you for this
Well,
one, Jason.
She's on her way to worthless if she can't reproduce.
On her way to worthless? What do you mean?
Yes, if she doesn't work. If you're trying to reproduce, you're talking about reproducing. If you're trying to reproduce, then if she doesn't work, then it's move on to the next.
If she doesn't work,
Goodbye. If she doesn't work,
yeah, so like
She's
you understand that there are other characteristics that individuals have, right?
according to what?
What do you mean according to what? Someone's another individual, they have personality, they have
Exactly.
characteristics, they have livelihoods, they have quality of life.
That's different. We're
What do you mean
speaking
that's
on
different?
reproduction. We're speaking on reproduction.
And?
If she can't reproduce, then and you're trying to produce,
So are you saying
Then
she's
what-
worthless overall? Or are you saying worthless in relation to whether or not they can reproduce?
in relation to whether they can reproduce.
So you're just saying, but that doesn't indicate someone's worthless, like, overall. You're just saying that someone doesn't have the ability to reproduce.
According to reproduction, she is worthless.
What do you mean by worthless, then?
Reproducing.
You just mean that they can't reproduce. So why do you say worthless?
When it comes to producing, she's worthless.
Okay, so when it comes, I mean, all that you're saying. So first you were like constraining.
When it comes to debating, you're worthless.
Fucking damn, for real, man.
Like,
Oh,
like I mean,
wow,
I
okay.
could. What's the point?
Are you getting mad?
Thank you for the cowboy hat. No,
No,
so
I'm
like,
just asking.
mad,
I'm
bro.
asking. What's the point?
Don't be mad, bro. The point is production.
Appreciate the
We're
money,
talking
God.
about
Thank you.
thank you for the
reproducing.
Garland hat. So now, here's just the thing. So you're taking this and you're just like confining your position in regards to reproduction. So you're willing to say that anyone that can't reproduce is worthless, and this is how you're deeming being gay is wrong, right? So obviously, some gay individuals do like reproduce via like IVF or surrogacy, or they had a kid before like they came out of the closet. Holy fucking shit! Holy
Oh, wow.
fucking shit!
W Nani is in the fucking chat. I
Yo,
fucking love that
W
one.
Nani.
That one's so sick. I love the
Thank you,
Rose
Matt, for the
Rose
bot.
Nebula. Absolute W's for Nani in the chat. Let's
Yo, that
fucking
was
go,
cool.
chat. W's for Nani in the chat. Let's go. Yo,
W
W
Nani.
Nani. Let's go.
Yo, W Nani's for real. Thank you for the boiling bot,
Shout
Jessica.
out
Anyways,
Nani.
so like you were first like constraining this argument to like a prerequisite of like in reproductive capabilities. So like I'm fine if you want to say in a sense of reproductive capabilities that like it's wrong to be gay, because all this is asserting that it would be wrong to be straight in the same sense for individuals who would fall under that criteria. In the same sense of how like 19% of women aged 18 to 49 are infertile, including 100% of women after the age of about 55 are all infertile. They cannot reproduce in the same sense that about 20% of gay people can't reproduce. Sorry, 20% of people who are gay can't reproduce. Like we're just going to yield these two conclusions that in confines of reproductive ability they can't do it. It's wrong. But this is going to deem being straight wrong in the same sense that it would deem being gay wrong, because a similar percentage of these populations, as far as a similar percentage of our populations are straight people who can't reproduce, and then gay people. So does that make any sense?
It does make sense, and I respect your intelligence, because what you're saying now
Even out of mustache.
is makes so much sense. And
It's just like
you're
it's a worthless claim. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's a completely worthless claim, right?
you're getting what I'm saying more than Parker is.
Well, like
But
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't justify the claim that homosexuality is immoral.
it's not okay. I wouldn't say. Well, it's
I mean, do you think
not
that
natural.
heterosexuality? Oh, define natural.
Natural, like natural. Okay, fine. Natural is normality, and when
So
it comes to normality,
is it unnatural to be a man over 6 foot tall?
it's on average.
No, is it unnatural?
Unnatural, I wouldn't say it's unnatural, but
Right,
it
so
is
here's a big contradiction, because you just said that being gay is unnatural, then you defined unnatural as what is normal, right? So being a man over 6 foot tall is going to be less normal than being a man that is gay. But somehow, like
Yes.
one like man over 6 foot tall isn't unnatural, but being gay is unnatural. And if naturality was, like discovered, Abby, thank you for the $5 off of normality, it would be more unnatural to be a man over 6 foot tall than be gay. Apparently, we're lagging.
Oh wow, okay. You're spitting too many bars right now, bro.
Anything else to say?
Yes, I love you guys. Keep doing it.
Have a good
And
one, man.
everybody has.
I think he was trolling, dude.
Bro, I can't tell, man. I can't tell. That was a very like low frequency debate. We're gonna go and get our next guest up in your chat. If we're enjoying the stream, make sure to hit that follow button on both me and Parker's account. W fucking co-host today. Hello, Megan. How old are you?
Hey, I was here last time. I was the one that almost got you banned, but I promise I won't do it again. But I'm 19. But I won't do it again.
Do you think it's
I just
wrong or
want to
immoral to
say
be gay?
he's like a troll as hell. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. Okay, you're right. No, but you're right. Your point was really well. It was
Well, do
very
you think
well.
it's wrong to be gay?
Of course not. No, last time I was here arguing about women. He's just a troll, and I just wanted to say that your point was amazing. It's the same way being gay or being anything else. people are people, and being a person is okay.
Oh, well, that's awesome,
Because
Megan. I
no
really
matter
appreciate
what
you for holding that.
occurs, like you're just living
Unfortunately,
life.
unfortunately,
But
we're
people
only
here are evil. What I've been hearing.
unfortunately we are only talking opposition, but I do appreciate you for coming up.
Well,
You had some
yeah, I
W
just want to actually.
opinions. W Megan, W opinions. Unfortunately, we're only talking to people that disagree, and I'm so sorry for booting you. I am W Megan. Hello, how old are you?
Hey,
Hey.
I'm 21.
Do you think it's wrong or immoral to be gay?
Yep.
Why?
I think it's too grotesque to be
I
that
think
sort of
surgery is
way.
pretty grotesque, all like the blood, guts, and gore and shit. Does that make surgery immoral?
Does that make surgery immoral? No, I just think
All
it's
right. So then grotesqueness, or like this interpersonal notion of grotesqueness, doesn't have any correlation if something's wrong or immoral. Stevie, I appreciate that galaxy. Thank you so much. Sorry, Stewie. So we're just going to take that reason, crumple it up in a fucking ball, throw it out the window, never talk about it again. Why is it wrong to be gay?
okay. So I just think it has too big of an impact on the society that we live in today, compared to
Did MLK have it?
Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate it.
Did MLK have an impact on society?
Yep.
Okay, well, was MLK immoral?
In some ways, I think. I can't remember.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, like there's gonna be no necessary correlation between impact on society and and immorality. I was really
W Martha
Yeah,
in the
not
chat.
usually, but yeah.
Not the random ASMR, please. All right, so it's lagging for people in the chat really badly. I don't know what's going on. For everyone who is in the chat, it's lagging. Everyone reopen, like scroll out, scroll back, and it should be fixed. Generally speaking, it's fine for me on my phone and whatnot. Appreciate that had mustache. Thank you so much. Sorry, what were you just saying, Baxter?
So, do you have any real stats to prove why this would actually be a useful thing in society, or just
bro?
Really?
So
is it useful for me to engage in playing Fortnite?
Yep.
It is.
All that sort of. I mean,
how so?
Well, it's like a game.
It's like a game. What about it?
What, Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to what we were talking about before, do you have any real stats to prove
Hey, is it useful for me to play Fortnite?
Yep.
Why?
What do you mean why? What, you're talking about a game compared to what you actually do?
Why is it useful in society?
It's just it's just a company on Epic Games.
I look, I have a better example. I don't think he's getting it. So right now I'm eating ice, right? Is it useful for society for me to eat ice?
Yep.
How?
I don't know. There's so when it comes to what you guys are really talking about, is it
I'm just kicking him, bro. I'm kicking him. No, I'm just kicking him. No, we're just moving on. No, we're moving on to the. No, we're not. That's not gonna. No, we're just gonna move. No, we're just gonna move on to the next guest here. Let's go ahead and see what. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna talk.
Dude, the yapping today has been fucking wild, chat. It's been so fucking wild.
This is fucking crazy, man. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. My brain is actually deteriorating. Half the chat's lagging. Okay, why is it lagging so bad? Chat, why are they lagging? It's literally not even lagging for me.
Yeah, I have the stream open on my computer to watch the lag, and I haven't seen any.
It's on my computer. I'm seeing some lag a little bit, but I have it open on my phone too, and it's not.
Yo, hello.
Hey man, how old are you?
19. I just want y'all to shake some ass.
So real, bro. You want to hit a restart on the live?
Do you want it?
Yeah, we could try that.
We could try. All right, yeah, guys.
You're talking bad for Matt too.
Okay, guys, we're gonna restart the live here. We are gonna restart the live, and everything is going to be better. Guys, make sure you come back. What I want all 3.8 thousand of you to do, if you've enjoyed this stream whatsoever,
follow both of us real quick. Follow both of us real quick. We'll be right fucking back, everyone. Give it a second, everyone. Be right back, y'all.
Just click on the profile and refresh it, and I'll be live again. We'll be right back, baby. Everyone, come back. I'm gonna